Okay, so you're designing your lovely exotic garden and you really want to evoke that feeling of the tropics. And you know that to do that, one of the best plants you can buy is going to be a banana plant. So assuming that that is what you want, just what is the hardiest banana that you can grow here in the UK and how hardy is it? Now, depending on which part of the UK you are in and how mild those winters are, there are approximately 4 species or cultivars of banana that you could consider kind of hardy. Now, of those 4, and arguably the most ornamental of them, is the Musa sicumensis red tiger, which has absolutely superb maroon banding on the leaves. It doesn't grow too big, but there are some issues regarding overwintering. It's unlikely they'll be able to survive outside over the winter, though it is possible if freezing temperatures don't last too long or go too deep. You may need to grow those in a pot and then bring the whole plant into a frost-free period over the winter. Now, fighting its position for most ornamental banana, and it's not a true banana but it's very banana-y, is the Ensat ventriculosum morellii, the red form of the Abyssinian banana, and this one is hardier, and we've had this outside in the UK and the south coast for years, you know, and we've kept them outside and we've left them in the ground, and we've done really well with overwintering them in situ, and that is one I really would recommend, but it's not the hardiest. Now, for me, and it's not your traditional banana kind of habit, is the Musella lasiocarpa, which, you know, is a very, very striking form. I'll throw a little picture up for you. It's got that wonderful, massive kind of yellow lotus-like flower head, and it really is quite striking. If you can get hold of them, because they're not easy to find, then I really would recommend these in your garden. Anyway, it is very, very hardy, hardier than the other two, and we've had it outside in the ground as a young plant, you know, not really established, and then we have had it survive temperatures down to -6. All that being said, the daddy of all the hardy bananas is this fella behind me, Musa basjoo, the Japanese hardy banana, and this is considered root hardy. I'll explain that in a minute, but it is so tough that this plant will go down to -10 degrees. Now, as you approach winter, these magnificent leaves tend to get ripped apart in the storms. You can see how they sort of shred along the lines there, and these will need to be taken off in the winter. The leaves will not survive the winter. However, the trunks, otherwise known as the pseudostems, now they will, to a certain extent, these will tolerate temperatures down to -1, -2, but I would really, really recommend wrapping these up in a few layers of horticultural fleece, or get a big baggie and stick that over the top of it. But we've never lost our stems before, and again, last year we had -6, -7. We cut off the tops, and then we put bag over the pseudostems, and those pseudostems survived. Now, if they hadn't survived, if it had got any colder, then those stems would have died off. But that is not the end of the plant, because this plant is what is known as a root hardy. That means if these pseudostems fail, these things here, and get knocked right back to the ground and die off, you will get in the spring new growth sprouting back out from the ground, and under favourable conditions you will get a full-size plant again by the end of that growing year. So, to conclude, if you only have space for one tropical banana, and you want it to be the hardiest banana, then this is the one that you have to go for. Musa basjoo, common name, Japanese hardy banana, absolutely brilliant, really establishes very quickly. So when it comes to growing it in your garden, it's fairly simple. It needs full sun to semi-shade. It needs a kind of well-drained but fairly moist soil throughout the year, and it kind of needs a shelter position if that's possible, to reduce that leaf damage from heavy winds. Just be aware that they can get quite big in the garden. They are clump forming after all and will produce multiple pseudostems. These pseudostems, they can reach up to 2.5 meters as a max, and the overall height of this plant, this one here we're looking at, is probably about 3 meters tall, but your biggest specimens will be about 3 meters tall. And these leaves, these wonderful leaves, these are probably about 1.5 meters on this plant, but you can get these between 2 and 3 meters long. Of course, the big question is, does this banana plant actually produce bananas? Well, given a long hot season, it can do. But trouble is, they're not very big. They're about 6 inches long and are kind of full of inedible, really hard seeds. You get a little bit of white pulp in it, so you can't eat them, but it will flower. It will produce these bananas in the UK. I've seen them do this many times. Right, anyway, if I've missed anything, then leave a question in the comments. We'd love to hear from you and we'll get back to you. And consider supporting our channel, because we desperately need a little bit of support from our viewers. And consider subscribing, press the notification bell, and do the tick, the upright thumbs up, whatever you call it. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.